Hello, guys. So, Woody, first question: what was your perception of ShopBoss during your SMS prospecting process?
Okay, so first I got a quick question, which I should have asked before now. When you say SMS, I
Shop
think like, say it again.
shop management system.
Okay, now I'm on board with all that, so that makes sense. So one more time the question, Ramy.
Sure. What was your perception of ShopBoss during your shop management system prospecting process? Did you start a trial, and how easy was that process?
Oh, gotcha. So the to reiterate the question, what was the process of us getting to Shop Boss and how did we turn it on and everything and what made us switch over to it? Um, So I was with Mitchell for 12 years, and the guy that actually ran my desk at the time, um, well, actually, he was moving to the desk, kind of transitioning from the shop to the desk. He did a Google search of the easiest point of sales for automotive repair shops to use, and you all came up on that list.
Hmm.
And so then I looked into it. And remembered that I actually saw it on the television program, the whatever it was with Richard Rawlings, the shop rehab or whatever that show was called. So I remembered I saw it on there. So I did the free trial and I liked several things about it. So then I actually ran the shop boss. So what I will say is the free trial with Shop Boss is actually really free. They didn't bait and switch. It was very simple to get into. So I actually ran the two point of sale side by side for like a full month. Where if I was a little uncomfortable with something, I just ran back to the Mitchell because I was super comfortable with that. And for the most part, I just did everything on the Shop Boss, figuring that if I didn't like it, I could always just transcribe everything over to the Mitchell and clean up afterwards. And about halfway through the month, we just stopped using the Mitchell altogether, and then I signed up with everything, and the rest is history.
Great. And then, what was your deciding factor on choosing ShopBoss?
So the number one thing I'll always say about my deciding factor of Shop Boss above everything else is simply the cloud based. I can, of course, I'm still owner operator. I've got somebody hired next week that's hopefully going to come in here and be Superman and run my desk like no other. But my favorite feature to this day is that I can be in the middle of an estimate, and then here comes the customer in the door, and they're in a hurry, and I can open up another tab, open up the Shop Boss, or I could do it on my phone or tablet or the computer next to me or anything else. Open that up, ring the customer out, do whatever I need to do, and get right back to the other one. I can have six of those tabs open, and they'll just sit there and wait for me to come back.
Great. And then this question, one of the bullet points is advising not to mention any other companies by name. But the
Sure.
question is, how does ShopBoss compare to other shop management system products you've used or seen?
Gotcha. So I've been in business 16 years. As of this October, I've been through three different point of sales. Shop Boss being one of them, and the other two are pretty popular ones that a lot of people are with. Um, the features and bells and whistles that some of the that are on the other two point of sales are, in my opinion, just kind of useless and clog everything up. And the Shop Boss is just the meat and potatoes. It just works. If something doesn't work, you all scrap it. There's not a bunch of tired old dated reports in the report screen like some of the other point of sales I've been exposed to. Um, it's it's just a very simplistic way to get it done.
Great. Thank you so much. This is a little bit of a long question just to start with, so take time if you need time to process.
Sure.
So the question is, how does ShopBoss help your shop reach its revenue goals? In your answer, if there's any metrics or numbers as to how your business has improved or how ShopBoss has helped your technician efficiency.
Absolutely. That's so. Shop Boss was eye opening as far as the ease of it And to touch base on a couple things that's helped us tremendously as far as revenue and growth and whatnot, the fact that I can have multiple different parts matrices. With another point of sale that I used, I had a tire parts matrix and I had the regular parts matrix, and that was it. With the Shop Boss currently, I have, let's see, there's Jobber, WD, Supplies, BG, Dealer. There's 5 different parts matrices I can use, and I could add even more of them. On top of that, the labor matrix, I can have multiple different tiers of that. I mean, because it's just a cloud-based system and it's all just, I know enough about computers to get my way through them, get through them most days. But where it's just a program, there's no limit of anything. Like if I want to have 20 different parts matrices, then the lines just continue. They don't stop. Where the other point of sales that I was exposed to in the past, um, you know, I think one of them just came out with now that you can have 3 different ones. Well, I can have 12 if I want to. So that's been number one. Um, the the GP number at the top right of every single ticket is absolutely a fantastic feature. So with another point of sale, not to mention anything by name, um, I hit F12 to see that number. And if I could remember to every time, sure. In the heat of the moment, phone's ringing off the hook, everything is going on. I'm trying to get something, the estimate built, so I'm just going to blow through it. And then maybe on the backside, all at once I realized, oh man, I was like 40% GP on that. I didn't pay close enough attention to that. But having that box at the top right corner all the time, just staring at me, and of course it takes some time. You need to plug your numbers in right. I've got all of my tech pay set at 40% of my labor rate, because if we have a big enough week, I do pay my techs about 40% of what I gather in labor, but I've got it set like that. So I'm always on the high side of that. So I've got a goal of 60% GP on everything. And really, I should be doing better than that the way I've got the numbers set up, which works out fantastic. I think you're muted, Ramy.
Probably good.
Okay. I didn't hear any. I saw your mouth moving, but
yeah, I was just saying, let's see here. I was just like filler words.
Oh, okay.
Okay, next question is, so there's 3 parts to it. So what is your favorite Shop Boss feature? How does this feature help you in your daily operations? And how does your team utilize this feature?
Okay. Well, just to reiterate back, my favorite feature is that I can just open that up as many times as I want. The point of sale I had before this one, I had to pay extra just to have 5 different stations. I could have 15 stations with this one with 15 people working it, and it cost me the same per month. I can open this thing on my alignment quick check machine. I can open it on my alignment machine out in the shop. I can open it on a tablet. It's always just sitting there waiting on me. And that's helped tremendously with the tech staff. I can show up to a customer's house delivering their car and literally ring them out with my phone.
That is good. Thank you. Now, your next question, what is your experience working with our Shop Boss support team? Do you utilize us often? How quickly do you get responses? And what is your preferred mode of communication?
So the communication with the Shop Boss team, as far as when I have a question or an issue or anything, is absolutely fantastic. I can click on that text link, fire away a question. They message me right back. Hang on, we might have to figure out how to do not disturb this phone over here. I knew how to with my old phone system. I don't know if I know. I'm ready to do it, so unplug it. All right, so starting over, cutting it up, or whatever. Um,
Do you want me to repeat the question?
You might need to at this point.
Sure. Yeah, no worries. All right. What is your experience working with ShopBoss support? Do you
Oh yeah,
utilize it often? How quickly do you get responses? And what is your preferred mode of communication?
gotcha. So as far as the support with Shop Boss, it's been fantastic. Um, again, just to um, reiterate that I was with another point of sale for 12 years, and calling into them. First of all, you had to make a phone call and go through all the prompts. And when you got to the person, you could just hear them reading off a script. Um, and they did that every single time. And then if I fought with it long enough, I finally got somebody. With Shop Boss, I can just click the link to communicate with somebody. Most of the time, it's somebody that I'm familiar with anyway, because the same crew's been there since I started. Um, they always message me back immediately, uh, and I haven't had anything not get resolved. So, and our first the main mode of communication with them is always that chat, because it's just so easy. You click on it, it opens up, somebody immediately communicates back with you. It's as easy as texting, which is what we all want to do in this day and age anyway.
Yeah, for sure. All right, just a couple more.
Sure.
How has your business changed since adding ShopBoss? Speak to efficiencies, happiness with workflows, and your future goals at your shop using ShopBoss.
Okay, so since we've been with Shop Boss, I believe the efficiency's increased a lot, because, of course, I've been doing the digital inspections for, I think it's 6 years at this point. Um, and when I started them, we had software that was on the tablet, software that was on the computer up front, um, and then software with the actual point of sale. So three different pieces of software all communicating with each other over the Wi-Fi signal. And when it worked, it was great. And when it didn't, it was awful. Um, we could be in the alignment bay, and all of a sudden we can't do a digital inspection. We could, the when it rained, things were different, because there's just so much information passing over all that. With the Shop Boss, with the digital inspections, whether it's the internal one that's a little on the cookie cutter side, but still works perfectly fine. It's just a little time consuming to use. Or when I moved over to the auto serve one, it just works absolutely flawless. And um, again, sound like a broken record, but the ability to just, if I'm standing in the middle of the shop and one of my guys says, "Hey, I need this ticket in my name," I can turn around to my Hunter Quick Check machine that's got a computer on it and just open it up, punch my number in, and change anything I want to. So that's been a huge help, that I don't have to go to the designated 4 stations that I have, um, in order to change the technician's name from one ticket to the other, you know. And I had another thought about that. Let's see. So with the well, I lost it, but that's what I got. I might think of it later.
No worries. So, last question I have here is kind of a 2-in-1. So, we kind of want to get your feedback on what you would say if you were talking to another shop that was considering coming to Shop Us and using us as their shop management system. To kind of pinpoint that a little bit more, how would you describe Shop Us as a standout shop management system to other shop owners looking for data management?
Well, I've had a conversation with several other shops. One of the reasons is because I'm part of ATI, Automotive Training Institute. Been with them 11 years, so I meet twice a year with about 18 or 19 other shops, and they're asking me more and more questions all the time about my point of sale. None of them, so pretty much up there, the room is split between 2 points of sales, which I won't mention, but it's two of the most popular ones out there. And I hear I hear a lot of back and forth commotion. They go in there and tweak a number, and then it's so complicated, and they've got to get on some kind of conference call with them to figure out how to exactly get these numbers tweaked, because it messed with all the canned jobs, and it did this and it did that. And again, the what Shop Boss did for me was simplify everything. It's it to me, the point of whether you're dealing with a point of sale or a digital vehicle inspection or an alignment quick check or any of the rest of the stuff I spend my money on around here, I'm a technician by heart, so it's all just an air ratchet or an impact gun. I can take the bolt off with a wrench. This air ratchet's going to get it off faster. Is going to get it back on faster. So it's a tool in the toolbox to me. And when a tool works efficiently and simple, and you don't have to, have an instruction manual to use it, that's my favorite tool. So that's what I've told other shop owners that I just felt like some of the other point of sales were so large and had so many features, and nobody's ever using a tenth of it. And I feel like I use the majority of what Shop Boss offers.
Thanks, Woody. Good answer. That is it for the Shop Boss portion, unless, Kevin, you have anything to add, and then we can go on from here.
I didn't even bring up the Lyft app. I used it just last week.
Oh, that's okay. You've given us quite a bit of good content.
Okay.
So.
Because
that was great.
I was going to brag on that. It was I had this customer roll in out of town, and of course he's got a deadline to meet, and I'm like, well, I can get you a ride home. And I click on there, and I'm like, looks like it's going to cost you about $80. He's like, I'm okay with that. Well, then of course he said yes to me, and I ordered the Lyft, and then of course 10 minutes later he gets a ding on his phone, and it's taken off, and well, then his wife has decided that they don't want to go home. They want to go to the Enterprise up the street instead and get a rental car. Mm-hmm. And so then they went up the street. So I contacted him the next week. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to charge you $80 or less, but I was able to click on that Lyft link, and it had it on there that it only charged him $16. So I just updated that on the ticket for the $16, and he was thrilled.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
He got home.
That's nice.
It was.
So we're going to transition to the 360 payments portion.
Okay.
I
got my hoodie, but I don't know if it's going to fit. I struggle with my weight. A few years ago, I weighed 345 pounds, and this time 2 years ago, I got all the way down to 219. And
wow, good for you.
I'm definitely more than 219 right now. The COVID 20 turned into COVID 50. Oh, wow. Should I put the hood up? Yeah, I don't know. This might go on a hanger behind me. Did my AirPod pick back up? There it is. Yeah, I hear you now. I might have to do something different with this. It's a little constricting. But my lady does want one of these Shop Boss T-shirts. She was very impressed with the softness of it.
Yeah, we have one on the way. I don't know if it's from the same maker, but it's on its way to you. We sent it from Tulsa yesterday.
Cool. She'll be happy. Maybe, if it's the same shirt. If it's not, she won't be. But we'll see. Oh. Let's see here. That's in the picture. Yep. Oh, it's in the picture.
Yeah. Jesse, that look okay for you?
Nope. Trying to unmute here. Yep. That looks perfect.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So our list is a little bit shorter for the 360 portion. I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. And they're very similar to the same with Shop Boss. Again, we'll avoid using other company names. And then I'll just go ahead and get started. The first one, how has integrated payments with 360 helped streamline the workflow in your shop?
So with moving to the 360 payments has definitely streamlined a lot of things here at Simpsonville Automotive. For one, we are not an inexpensive repair shop whatsoever. Um, there's times that we charge more than the dealership does. And I say that with pride because what we offer as far as our value proposition exceeds, I believe, everybody in the surrounding area around here. We do loaner vehicles, we do pickup and delivery. If customer wants to pick up after hours and lock the keys in or anything, we are absolutely willing to do that. So I mean, there's times we have a $4,000 or $5,000 job here, and with other credit card processors, when I took that over the phone or keyed it in or whatever, it hit me for 3 points or something, which I wasn't a big fan of. But at the same time, I'm charging what I'm worth, and if that's the way they want to do it, and I got the job, then let's just do it. With the 360 payments, it just flatlined every bit of that. It's one fee, and so far, every time I've ran the report, what they told me is true. Um, if the power to the building goes out completely and I have no internet access or anything, which I did have happen, I can still run the payment because it's all just sitting in the cloud waiting on me. I can log into ShopBoss and click on the manual payment thing and just take the payment right there. So if the building burned down and there was one car left and the guy wanted to pick it up, I could still ring him out and it would still go to my bank account. That's a huge value to me coming from where I came from to have to make a phone call to get reverse transactions on things. When we screw something up and charge a customer too much or what happens to us sometimes, that link that we send the customer that's got everything spelled out on it, well, they can pay right through that. So some of my customers will go ahead and pay, even though I've had a conversation with them. Hey, this is kind of worst case scenario on this, and if we don't need this part, then we won't do it. Well, they just get excited, I guess, clicking on everything, go ahead and pay the bill. Well, then all of a sudden it's $100 less. Well, I can just click on there and refund them back, the $100, and it just works. I don't have to make a phone call. I don't have to chat with somebody. I don't have to, be some kind of tech expert. I can just click on it and put in the amount that I want to refund, and it just all works and happens. And it's fantastic.
Great. Now, I just want to preface and say you inevitably have answered all of the other questions, but I'm still going to ask them just in case we need to segment things a little bit. So question number 2 for 360 payments is just, what is your favorite part about working with 360 payments?
My absolute favorite part about working with 360 payments is that I don't have to work with 360 payments. It just sits there and works. I don't need to call them every week. I think I talked to them when I signed on, and I'm not sure if I've had another conversation with them because the thing just sits there and works.
Awesome. Thank you. Another question you definitely answered earlier, but just we're going to talk specifically about text to pay. In what ways has text to pay helped your shop?
Well, it's definitely helped with the text to pay has helped tremendously around here because we offer so many amenities, including pickup and delivery and loaner vehicles. I mean, there's times that my customers are busy, they're working. They might be in my loaner car and they can't get back to my shop till Sunday. Well, no big deal. Just pay through that link, and your keys are going to be in this location. And when you get here with my loaner car, just throw the keys through the slot on my front door and pick your car up, and that's that. On top of that, the fact that whether the little credit card gizmo up front's plugged in or not, it still just works. If the power to the building's out, and all I've got to do is just access the shop boss, and I can manually input a payment because it's just sitting in there in the cloud waiting on me.
Good, thank you. Now, I know you mentioned that you have had to, which is a good thing, that you have not had to have much interaction with the 360 support team, but when and if you have had to contact the 360 support team, how has your experience been working with them?
I think I've got a contact saved in my phone. I do, and I think I chatted with them through text or just pick up the phone. I think they just answer the phone. I'm gonna speak with them very soon because we're actually closing on this mortgage with the property here at our shop, and I'm moving some bank accounts around, and I need to redirect the 360 payments over to a new account. So I guess I'll find that out, but I don't anticipate any trouble getting a hold of them. Not to mention that, let me say this. So I've been a part of ATI for 11 years now, and I talk to shop owners a couple times a year, do Zoom meetings with them and everything else. Literally 11 years ago, one of the early on meetings, we decided that all the subjects we're going to cover as far as customer relations, how we're buying parts, how we're marking parts up, labor, everything, all the different discussions, we decided that we're just not going to discuss credit card processing, period, because when we start talking about it, it saturates hours and hours and hours. And credit card processing, period, is just an ugly subject. And 360 has absolutely just infected the ATI crowd, and pretty much all the ATI shops are using it.
Oh, great.
I mean, I'm on the Facebook page with ATI, my 20 group Facebook page. Constantly somebody's on there raving about 360 payments.
Oh, well, good. The last question, similar to the same last question for Shop Boss. If you were talking to another shop owner looking for a credit card processor, what would you tell them about that would encourage them to join 360?
If I have spoke to other shop owners about my credit card processing, my 360 payments, and if I have another conversation, it'll be that it's simplistic, it works. I don't have any kind of ridiculous contract or a bunch of paper to buy and where to get the paper, and if the machine quits working in the middle of the night, all of a sudden it double charged my customer, because that did happen to me one time. It's it doesn't have to dial up, it doesn't have to sit there on the internet and do all that. It's just in the cloud waiting on us, and it works every single time.
Great. Thank you.
And then on top of that, the streamline of the fees is just very simplistic.
Good. Okay. That concludes everything. It's just you and me now. Everyone left. I'm going to stop recording.
Well, they're lame.